All right, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Julian here, broker owner with JW Realty Partners, and I've got a guest with me today, Mr. Jeremy Dean of Happy State Bank. He's going to share a little bit today about his loan products and different things that they offer at their bank. A lot of cool stuff they've got going on, from lot loans to physician loans, and I'm gonna go ahead and let Jeremy take it away from here. So a couple questions, Jeremy. So introduce yourself.
Jeremy Dean, Happy State Bank, mortgage loan officer, been in the business for over 16 years. Just happy to be here.
Cool, man. Awesome. Well, thanks again for joining us today.
My pleasure.
A couple things. We're talking a little bit about some of the products that you guys offer, and I think the one thing that kind of stuck out for me is you are doing a lot loan for people that want to buy a lot but aren't really quite ready to build on it yet. So tell us a little bit about that lot loan program, how that works for people out there watching that want to invest in real estate, kind of see where the market is on acquiring land right now with the ability to build on it later or here in the near future now as well. So a little bit about the lot loan. Go ahead, you want to explain how that works?
Sure. So with the lot loan, we can go 10% down, and we can actually offer that down to a 660 FICO. So for a lot of folks, the credit score kind of becomes an issue depending on who you're talking to, what lender. So we really can kind of flex quite a bit on that. So the purpose of buying the lot with getting the lot financing first is we want you to get in there with a little bit of cash, but not a ton, right? So a lot of folks are going to require a lot more than 10% down. So one of our specialties is to get you in there with as little of down payment as possible. Okay. So get you in there with 10% down. Closing costs are minimal. When we're talking about a lot loans, there's not a lot of other things that you're paying in terms of fees.
Right.
And then really you can go as long as you want until you're ready to build. Nice. So obviously you're making payments on that lot loan, so you don't want to sit there and hold it forever.
Right.
But we've got a couple different options on the amortization. You can do an adjustable rate, you can do a fixed rate. But really you're going to get in there, and then the money that you would have otherwise put to either pay cash for that lot or put a huge chunk down,
right,
you've now got that money to go towards your build, right? So you can use, and especially, hopefully in our market, the lot's going to increase in value as you sit on it. So the value that's increased, that can then go towards your equity, your down payment on the construction loan.
That's interesting that you say that. So you mean to tell me, because there are some opportunities out there where you can acquire land for, you know, $50,000, $100,000 in certain areas. So you could buy a lot loan, a $100,000 lot loan for 10% down, which is about $10,000 down.
Right.
Plus there's closing costs, obviously. Now, if that lot appreciates over year 1, year 2, year 3, and you decide to build on that lot a $400,000 home, basically a $4,000 home, and they qualify for a conventional product, I mean, they could use that equity as the down payment on the permanent financing on that permanent loan that's getting originated for the new home construction.
That's right. So let's just use an example with some round numbers. So let's say you buy the lot for $100,000 and you're going to put 10% down.
Right.
All right. So you got a loan for 90, and you put 10 plus closing costs out of your pocket.
Nice.
So let's say you want to wait however long. It can be 6 months. It can be 3 years, and you want to build a $400,000 house.
Right.
So the way it's going to work is most lenders are going to require a 10% down payment essentially, but it's most likely going to be 10% of the value of the home, the newly constructed home,
right,
for that construction loan.
Which is, in this example, $40,000 on a $400,000.
Correct. So you're going to need to bring 40 grand to the table, assuming your lot did not appreciate at all. You would need to bring 40 grand to the table plus the closing costs on the construction loan.
Right.
So in our example, let's say that $100,000 lot has appreciated up to 120.
Right.
Okay. So that additional 20 grand, you didn't do anything for that, right? That's not money out of your pocket you didn't spend. So that $40,000 down payment gets reduced by that amount. So now that $40,000 down is now a $20,000 down payment because we can use the equity in the lot.
And if they put 10% down on the lot acquisition, they're actually financing
You've got $90,000. That's exactly right, which also goes towards that equity. Now you're only looking at 10 instead of 40.
Down.
And one of the things that really separates us at Happy State Bank from a lot of other lenders is we will allow that appreciation within 1 year. So
within 1 year.
Within 1 year.
Because
so
that's interesting you say that, because some banks say if they acquire the lot, they have to have a seasoning requirement, right? For at least 12 months to where they can then take that appreciation and use that as part of the.
That's exactly right. A lot of banks have a 1 year seasoning requirement on their lot loans. And so if you're interested in a lot loan, that's really something you need to ask your lender about is, do you have a lot seasoning requirement when you get to the construction loan?
Awesome.
Because the way that this market is going, I mean, everybody knows that prices are just going up like crazy. So if you get in on a lot that's going to appreciate within that 12-month time frame, and you're ready to start building in 6 months or 9 months, and your lot has gone up in value, there's no reason, from our standpoint, there's no additional risk there to us. There's no reason why we should not let you use that equity. but a lot of folks won't.
And so if you actually own a home now and you want to buy a lot as a second home in maybe another area, part of the Texas or whatnot, you can act now, acquire a lot for 10% down.
Right.
There's minimum out of pocket, there's closing costs obviously, but there's no private mortgage insurance.
Correct.
And it doesn't have to be a primary residence, correct?
Correct.
Okay, awesome.
So we can do the lot loan. For a lot of folks, they want to buy a lot, let's say for example in a development that's on a lake. Okay.
Say Lake Ridge, for example.
Let's say Lake Ridge. That's a perfect example.
Beautiful.
Kind of down south of the Metroplex a little bit. So for a lot of people that live all throughout the, you live in Dallas, Plano, Fort Worth, North Fort Worth, Denton, wherever. You got this awesome, gorgeous place down south of the Metroplex a little bit. Maybe a 20-minute drive, maybe a 45-minute drive, depending on where you live.
Absolutely.
But for us, you want to buy a lot down there and get in on a construction loan, and you just want to make that a weekend house.
Right.
Second home. For a lot of
VRBO,
people.
Airbnb it.
Any of those.
Because you're close to Dallas Cowboys Stadium.
That's exactly right.
Downtown Dallas, and you got
exactly right.
the marina right there close.
Exactly right.
Awesome.
So we can do that and then get you in on that construction loan, no lot seasoning, as a second home, which is also a huge advantage that we have at Happy State Bank, because a lot of construction programs out there are designed for primary residence.
Awesome.
We can do it as a second home.
So how do people get in touch with you if they want to learn more about it?
You reach out to me any way you want to.
Okay.
Cell, email is probably the best. So my cell phone number, 817-891-7101. And I'm a salesperson, man, so that's open 24 hours a day. My email address is jdean@happybank.com.
All right, cool, man. Last but not least, I got to ask you, Happy State Bank.
That's right.
Where did that come from, man? How does that originate? It's
okay, I'm gonna answer your question with a question. You can't say it without smiling, can you?
You can, man.
You cannot say it without smiling.
Okay, it's hilarious, man.
It is. A lot of people look at that and say, "Is that real? Like, is that a real name? Is that a real bank?"
Yeah.
And it is. So Happy State Bank was chartered in 1908.
Okay, 1908.
From Happy, Texas.
Okay.
That's a real place as well. Yeah.
Happy, Texas. Seriously.
They were the first state bank of Happy way back then. So they're headquartered in Amarillo. So it is really a West Texas Panhandle bank. That's where they're really well known.
Nice.
So the last couple of years, really been trying to make a splash here in the DFW marketplace. So I came on board to really help just this explosion that they have here with commercial and residential lending. And so if you have not heard of that name, then you're definitely going to here in the near future.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Jeremy.
Absolutely.
Guys. Happy State
My
Bank.
pleasure.
It's a pleasure. Look forward to you guys on
Talk to
next
you
time.
soon.
Have a good one. Take care, guys.